Hello everyone, Hotel here. I know I usually do mock videos, but today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're going to be looking at my current UNSC collection. This is a part of a pair of videos in which the next video will be looking at my Banished and Covenant forces. I just wanted to show off what I have on hand for mock building before diving back into our regular content of showcasing custom builds that I make. So to step into my UNSC forces, I have them all displayed here on the table. You may notice that there aren't any air vehicles here. I just couldn't fit them all on the table, so I'm going to clear out some room later and I'll show those all off. So here we have the men and women of the UNSC. This is my Marine Corps company. This company is made up of 4 platoons, with one of those platoons being made up of ODSTs. Each of the 4 platoons is led by a lieutenant or a lieutenant, with the 4 of them being led by a CO who is a captain. There are 3 platoons of Marines, with each platoon being made up of 3 squads of 9 Marines. Each squad is led by a sergeant, which will have a green visored helmet in contrast to the gold visors of regular Marines. There are a few differences between each platoon. Most notably, the ODSTs made up of a few fire teams: Yankee 1, Whiskey 2, Bravo 3, Gulf 4, and Romeo 5, with the last being the largest with 5 members, while the others all have 3 members. Up next, we have 3 platoons of regular Marines, with first up being, shocker, 1st Platoon, next is 2nd Platoon, and lastly we have 3rd Platoon. 3rd Platoon is a bit different as it's made up of mechanized Marines compared to regular Marines in the first 2 platoons. 3rd Platoon, 1st Squad, and the gray shirts here handle driving vehicles, so they'll be the drivers of Mongoose, Warthogs, the Hippo, the APC, the Scorpions. Then we have 2 squads of infantry with 3rd Platoon to support vehicles and operate vehicle support weapons and artillery. I also have these 4 Marines from the Ghosts of Requiem pack. I haven't found a perfect use for them, but I tend to use them in a sort of military police role or honor guard role for escorting HVTs. Moving on to the vehicles, let's start with this new and improved version of the UNSC Hippo, which I featured in a previous video. I've since rebuilt it, and I just wanted it to look like a real truck. So now it does look like a real truck compared to what it looked like before. I have a video planned to delve into the new design that I have here, so I won't go too deep right now, but just look forward to that. Up next is 3 Razorbacks that we use for transporting Marines or squads of Marines or supplies when the Hippo can't be used. For faster and smaller deployments, I also have a large assortment of mongooses and gungooses, with 12 of the former and 4 of the latter. Of the 12 mongooses, 10 of them are from the Recon Getaway set, and the other 2 are from Defense Point Showdown. So I do have a large assortment of Marines, Elites, Grunts, and a not very large assortment of Banished AA guns. Moving on to the Warthogs, we have 6 of them with 4 different types. First, we have the smaller and my personal favorite Red Team Charge Warthog. Next, we have 3 regular Halo Infinite Warthogs, followed by 2 modified Halo Infinite Hogs, with the first one having the Gauss cannon from the Red Team Charge Warthog, and the last one is a rocket pod hog that I made by taking 2 missile pods from the Pelican inbound set, clamping them together and putting them onto the back to get this mobile rocket launcher hog that I like to use, or at least pretend that I'm using, as a, mobile hard strike against infantry warthog for taking out large groups of enemies that might not be heavily armored. Lastly, for the ground vehicles, we have the heavy stuff: 2 Scorpion tanks and my custom APC. I already have a video covering the APC, so I won't delve into it too much here, but I call it the UNSC Seal, and it's one of the first mock vehicles I made, along with the original UNSC Hippo. I think that the seal blends in really nicely with the rest of the vehicles. It just feels Halo to me. Definitely one of my proudest creations. The two Scorpions are nothing special, but I feel like I should point out that I got one of them from Mattel directly due to an issue with one of my Floodgate Firefight sets. They didn't have replacements on hand for the defective Flood Elite that I got, so in return, after proving my purchase and going through all that with them, they sent me this as a replacement. They have excellent customer support when you can reach them, but I did find it a bit challenging to get a hold of them. I had to go about it in an unorthodox way. Alright, now that I've moved some stuff around, I've assembled my air vehicles here. Let's take a look at all this, starting with the small stuff first. Here we have two of the Wombat drones featured in Halo 3 ODST briefly, and also featured in the Wombat Overwatch set with Buck and a Brute bodyguard. I was lucky to find two of these at my local Toys R Us. Unfortunately, when I was trying to buy them, the cashier thought that I was trying to buy them for a kid's birthday present and kept insisting that I keep a gift receipt. You know, always a fun experience buying Mega Construct at a kid's store. Don't have that happen at Walmart. Moving on, we have these Hornets from the Hornet Recon set. There are five of them here, hence the five ODSTs that we saw from this set earlier. This may be one of my favorite Halo Mega Construct sets. They have packed so much detail into such a tiny build, and it works so well in my opinion. I have seen a lot of people online saying that they were having issues with the struts off on the bottom on the sides, but I somehow haven't had any issues with any of my five, so either I'm lucky or something else is going on. But just, it's an insane set. I love everything about it, from how just good it looks to how it feels to hold. My only complaint is that I would have rather had it not have the play features with the turning turbines in this stick. I would have rather them just give it more friction on each of the turbines and you can pose it as you like, because when you pick it up, the turbines kind of shift around and it just bothers me a little bit, but far from the end of the world. It's such a nice set. Up next, we have the Wasp, everyone's favorite Halo vehicle. Not much to say about this, but technically it's an older set now. I only managed to get one of these since they were starting to phase them out when I started my collection, and I really regret it because it is a nice set and the shade turret was really nice along with it. It probably would have been nice to have two, and it definitely isn't worth the marked up prices it sells for now on the secondhand market, so I'm just going to stick to one. I'm sure everyone watching this immediately noticed this one when I showed off the air vehicles. The elusive Falcon from the Falcon Sweep set. I managed to snag this as a pre-order on Amazon day one and never had to worry about it again. It's a really nice set and I'm glad I have it. I would definitely be bummed if I didn't get it, considering how hard it is to snag now, and I seriously doubt it'll get easier anytime soon. My one gripe with this set is how hard it is to put figures inside the crew area without flipping it around. I'm not really a Spartan guy, so while the figures of Noble Team were really nice and detailed, the printed weapons that came with it were much nicer in my opinion because I could use them with Marines and ODSTs, which, if you couldn't tell, is my preference for the Halo universe. To wrap up the vehicles I have today, I have saved the largest set for last, the UNSC Pelican. This was one of the earlier sets I got once I got back into collecting, and it was such a joy to put this together. I threw one of those Halo terminal lore videos on YouTube and just chipped away at this. Took me all day and it was well worth it. Sadly, this set is hard to use in mocks due to its size, and up until I got a bigger table, I really couldn't fit it anywhere, so for the most part, it's just been delegated to sitting on a shelf in my living room. As you can see, it's quite dusty from that. I wish the crew bay on this was a little more accurate to an actual Pelican rather than specifically designed around Halo Infinite, but on the outside, it's beautiful and I love it all the same. It's a great set to have just to show off this is what Halo Mega Construx is all about. I would like to thank each and every single one of you for watching my video. Up next, we have the Banished and Covenant Army video coming. If you have any suggestions for future videos, or just want to leave a message for me, or talk about your day, feel free to leave a comment below. I read them all, and even if they don't get a response from me, I do take every comment and message into consideration for future videos, and I love hearing your feedback.